Alright, let's start with a jaw-dropping fact. Over 15 million Australians are leaving their superannuation inheritances to chance. That's not a typo, 15 million. And the story behind this isn't about numbers. It's about real people getting blindsided by a system most of us don't even understand. Let me explain why this matters, not just to Australians, but to anyone who thinks their hard-earned savings are truly theirs to control. /in/in so. Picture this. Brooke Allen, a woman who considered her uncle like a father, suddenly finds herself in a legal nightmare after his death. Her uncle had filled out the paperwork, on paper, no less, to split his $130,000 super payout equally between her and her cousin. But here's the kicker. The super fund, CBUS, decided his estranged son gets everything. Why? Because the form he signed wasn't binding. Wait, what? If I write down who gets my money, why isn't that final? This isn't just Brooke's problem. It's a systemic flaw that treats superannuation like a game of telephone, where your wishes get lost in a maze of legal loopholes. /in/in let's unpack this. Superannuation isn't part of your estate. Repeat that. Your super isn't automatically governed by your will. It's held in a trust, and the fund's trustee has the final say. So when you die, your loved ones aren't heirs. They're petitioners begging a corporation to honor what you thought was your choice. Personally, I find this absurd. Imagine telling someone their life insurance or bank account could be reassigned posthumously because a company prefers someone else. We'd lose our minds. But with super, we shrug and call it financial literacy. /in/in now. Why don't more people have binding nominations? For starters, most don't know they need one. A shocking 87% of Australians surveyed had no binding nomination in place. Super funds aren't exactly shouting this from the rooftops, either. Only 10% of people said their fund actively encouraged them to set one up. So here's the hypocrisy. Funds profit off managing billions in assets, but treat beneficiary education like an afterthought. What's the incentive to fix this? None. They're not penalized for dragging their feet. Families are. /in/. Then let's talk about the emotional toll. Brooke called the process an emotional roller coaster. Her uncle's son, a stranger to her, got the payout despite being estranged. This isn't about greed, it's about respect. The super system is essentially telling grieving families, your relationships don't matter. Legal dependency does. But dependency? That's a technical term tied to financial support, not love or lifelong bonds. So if you helped a niece with college tuition twice, but not every month, doesn't count. The system is coldly transactional in moments when humanity matters most. /in/in here's where it gets even messier. Binding nominations expire every 3 years. Yep, you have to renew them like a subscription service. Why? What's the logic here? Maybe to ensure relevance. Or is it just another hurdle designed to create ambiguity? Either way, it's a trap. You think you've planned ahead, but 3 years later, your wishes lapse into legal limbo. And funds aren't exactly sending reminders. Many notify you the day before a nomination expires. Try setting a calendar alert for that. /in/. And the bigger issue? This isn't just about paperwork. It's about control. Australians are being forced into a paradox. You're told to take responsibility for your financial future, but when it comes to one of your largest assets, your super, you're powerless. The government isn't stepping in either. While some funds push for digital reforms, like letting you sign nominations online, laws still require ink signatures on paper. In 2026, it's like asking someone to fax a will. /in/. And so what's the solution? Mandatory binding nominations? Perpetual terms? A government overhaul? Super Consumers Australia wants strict payout timelines, like a legal deadline for funds to decide claims. But even that's tricky. What about complex family dynamics? A fund might face a tough choice between an ex-spouse, kids from different marriages, or a new partner. But let's not mistake complexity for justification. The default should always be the member's documented wishes, not a corporation's interpretation of dependency. /in/. And at the end of the day, Brooke's story isn't an outlier. It's a symptom of a system that prioritizes bureaucracy over humanity. And the question we all need to ask is, why do we accept this? Is it apathy, trust in institutions, or just the uncomfortable truth that dealing with death is uncomfortable? I'll leave you with this. If your super doesn't go to who you want, whose fault is it? Yours for not educating yourself? Or a system designed to keep you in the dark? Let me know what you think in the comments, because this isn't just Australia's problem. It's a global reminder that control over our futures is an illusion, one form at a time.